Hey, good afternoon, YTPC. This is Dave coming to you from the paddock here in Southern Maryland. It's a Sunday afternoon, quiet, nice, slow Sunday afternoon. Yeah, the spring forward doesn't really mess me up too much. Had a great some coffee time with the wife. Got all my paperwork done. Got over here a little bit. Man, it is windy out there today. So I don't know if we're going to have a gentle Sunday cigar or not. We'll see. I'm all rigged up for it. When I get home, we'll have to figure it out. And I don't have a whole lot to go talk about today, which turns out probably pretty dangerous, right? Kind of like my wife saying, hey, I've been thinking. That's never good. And me saying, hey, I've got nothing to talk about usually means I generate a 40 or 50 minute video. So I'm going to try and be a little more careful of that today. So we'll just kind of have a grab bag of topics today. I am smoking my Mark Maryland Meerschaum. Beautiful pipe. Mark, I love this thing. And I'm continuing my relationship development with Ahab's Comfort. It rubs out really nice. Now that I've got the rub out down, it generates really nice tobacco. I think before I was trying to smoke it in those cube cuts, and I suck at that. I suck at smoking flakes I don't rub out. I suck at trying to smoke cubes I don't rub out. But now I got the rub out down, that double, triple, quadruple rub out. I think I got it. It's working good now. This is my second bowl already today. Thank you, Greg. I never tamp on camera. So there, finally did it. Oh, that's Greg's favorite sound. So some of you have brought up that you have issues getting pipe tobacco imported into the U.S. So I did a test order this morning. So I ordered 40 tins, 40 tins. Some of them I need to replace what I've been sending out to you guys in the key packs. So I ordered 10 Flanagan, 10 Dock Worker, 10 Haymaker, and 10 Sunset. Tillerman, I think, is out. I haven't seen it available at Esterval's for quite a while. So anyway, that 40 tin order is about the size that I've been bringing in. I brought in hundreds and hundreds, but I broke it up. So I'll let you know if this 40 comes through. So I bought it from Esterval's. I had them shipped. There's two shipping options, UPS and DHL. UPS, remember, has that. They don't want to ship tobacco. So I'm a little worried that UPS maybe flags it coming from a tobacco center and that flags customs. I don't know. Anyway, the other one is DHL. That's the one I've always used. So that's what I chose. So today's order is 40 tins from Esterval's by DHL. I'll know in the next 2 or 3 days if we're going to have a problem or not. And I'll let you know as soon as I know. And when it actually gets here, if it actually gets here, I'll let you know. And maybe we can compare how you're doing it and how I'm doing it. And we'll figure out if you're doing something to get it flagged. So I mentioned I wanted a green pipe and I wasn't overly excited about the alligator. And at least two of you said, hey, you should go over to Jack Ryan's Pipes. And he in fact still had the green one, so I've purchased one, and it is, it's got to come across the pond, but when it gets here, I'll show it to you. So thanks for that tip, because it does look like a really nice green pipe. Hey guys, I'm pretty sure you've seen, if you watch my channel, I'm sure you watch Parsimonious Piper and Potter Piper, but they've announced their Screwtape, Screwtape letter series. I think their first edition is tomorrow, where they're actually addressing or talking about letter one. So I'm in, I'm staying aware of it. So I bought this little version. This is supposedly written in modern day English. So I've read all the introductions and forwards and the first letter, so I'm kind of ready to see it. Anyway, this is like 15-20 bucks at Amazon. So it's the Screwtape letters. It's the David Harrison version, and the subtitle is C.S. Lewis's The Screwtape Letters in Everyday English. So anyway, if you want to break into reading and maybe a little more classical and be part of this, this is an easy way. The first letter is only like 2 pages long. So I know some of you said, hey, I don't read, I have trouble reading, I have dyslexia, I have concentration issues. Guys, if you want to try, this is a good one. I mean, the whole series, the series is 30, let's just do this. They said it's 30 some letters. I'm so stupid, I can't remember. 31 letters, so they're probably going to be doing 31-week series. So this little tiny book across 31 weeks. This is a good way to break into reading if you want to do it. There. Done lecturing. We'll do a quick keychain update. 23 of the first 25 are out the door. The woman who makes them has said, hey, that my next 25 are done, and she sent me the invoice. So that means if she actually gets me the invoice today, I'll get it paid and we'll get the next 25 in. So it should be seamless. By the time the 24th and 25th keychains are out the door, we should have the next 25 in here. So if for some reason you're procrastinating on asking, and you shouldn't, just ask, please. But if you're like, oh crap, man, I'm going to miss out, you're not. All right. I got 2 left in the bag and 25 more coming. And as soon as those start to once I have 10 or 12 of those out the door, I'll order another 25. Yeah. Again, I only order them in 25 for the protection of the poor woman that's got to make them. She hand does each one. So I don't see any reason to break her. So there's mine. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to do what Greg did. So guys, I wanted a little more contrast. So I actually took a pen and wrote on the letters. So that's why mine looks kind of blackish in there. I just took a pen. All right, that's a keychain update. Hey, I don't know if you watch Jacques from South Africa, but he did a pretty damn serious video a couple days ago about, I don't know the term he used. I couldn't understand his accent, but what I would call squatters. People are just going out onto farmland and building squatter shacks on the property and then claiming they have the right to live there and making people do something about it. This is pretty scary. I mean, I can't imagine as an individual farm owner having to deal with that. But as a society in South Africa, this is a pretty widespread problem. And when I went and looked at it, there are stories that go back years. So I don't think this is a new problem. And now when you look at the police and the group of people actually have to deal with it and move them, it's called the Red Ants. They seem to wear red jumpsuits. But they have to go in and actually kick people out and tear it down, or they try to wait till the people have gone somewhere else and then they tear it all down. But they don't move it. They just tear it all down and pile it up as a big pile of junk. So I don't know, but I was a little concerned because the news service is doing exactly what they do here, and that is really sort of taking the side of, hey, the squatters have rights to do this. It's wrong to tear down their house. It's wrong to move their belongings off your property. I just am struggling with this mentality of you can go anywhere you want, move in, and call it yours. So it's actually happening. It's happening in California too. People find a house that is for sale and move into it and take down the for sale sign and say it's mine. We've had several instances in Ocean City, Maryland, which is sort of our Atlantic Ocean seaside, vacation town. It's about 3 hours from here, but it literally sits out on a spit, and it literally sits literally on the ocean. I mean, it's in some cases less than 100 yards from the hotels. But they have building sites there, and what they've found is people have forged the property deed of trust on this piece of property, and then built a house on it, and then claim it's mine. I have the deed of trust. I built this home, and the true property owner is having a really hard time saying, well, my deed of trust is real and their deed of trust is fake, because in today's world you can make these things look really good. So crazy, and I've got a house that I'm only at half time in Wyoming, so I will not have eviction problems. I will not rely on local law enforcement to remove people, by the way, but I just don't understand the mentality of squatters have rights. I just can't. It just blows me away. But there we go. Just wanted to bring that up. Jock, that was a big story. We traded comments back and forth, but I just wanted to say it here. It's a big deal, and it does create a dangerous situation. You even said you had to find new ways to go to work and back because you didn't want to drive through this. I mean, I totally get that. So anyway, best of luck, buddy. So I'm having some coffee out of the old thermos and my favorite mugs. Man, it's hard to beat a nice cup of coffee on a cold, blustery day. So we probably should address the elephant in the room. I have a couple videos that came out yesterday. Pipe Monkey Gary's vid blew me away. I don't even know what to say. I've written him an email, but I just wanted to say thank you to Gary right out here in public and just say, it was touching and surprising, and I just want to say thank you, Gary. I mean, wow, it was crazy. It was super nice. It was nice to see your old vids, your old pictures. Like you said, pictures back when you were in your prime, and just because we're older, by the way, doesn't mean we can't be dangerous, right? We should still be dangerous. We should still be lethal. I don't care. I'm turning 60 pretty soon, and it doesn't matter if you're turning 50, 60, 70. We should still have the ability to be lethal. Hopefully we're not called upon it, right? I mean, I'm really hoping that our societies don't break down to the point where we have to pick up the slack. But we've let so many people across our southern border. There's a good chance that there's a decent sized army inside the U.S. waiting for orders, and it might be up to us to have to take care of that. I don't know if that's the same in your countries, right? You UK guys, you UK guys, you may not have that problem. I just don't know. But anyway, just Gary blew me away. I don't even know what to say beyond that. Just thanks, bud. So guys, I think the topic I want to bring up while I'm having nothing to talk about, obviously I have something to talk about now. I just wrote it down. I'm going to take an opposing view to a very common, popular view, and that's we say, I ditched this or I ditched that because family first. And I think we seem to be raising and watching several generations behind us saying, well, I'm not going to get too career oriented, or I'm not going to start a second company, or I'm not, because my family comes first. I'm just going to let that soak in for a minute, because I'm going to take a different view, or an opposing view to that. So just get ready. I hope I've developed enough street cred on the channel on being a family man that I can talk to the other side of this conversation. Yeah, I'm still on Wife 1.0. Anne-Marie and I've been together since 1988. 2 grown kids. I have a good relationship with both. You can see it took a bit of a Hail Mary with my son, because I think he and I had that typical, mid-teenager dad relationship. His whole goal was to run away, and I was trying to hold him, and we had those typical rubs, and I wasn't home a lot. So, but we had a great, we had that story about the 9 months or the 8-month window, and what we were able to do with that, and what we've done with the 5 years since then. But the concept I want to get at is I think sometimes it's either being taught by society now or taught by this initiative to make men and women completely the same and indistinguishable from each other, that to be a family man means you got to give up everything and just be worried about the family. And I think there are different ways to do that, and some of them aren't popular anymore. But I think establishing income, I think paying for the family lifestyle, even if it means being gone, like if you have to travel a lot to do that, or you work long days, or you bring work home, or you take work on vacation, I think that doesn't need to be spun as, well, you're not a very good family man if you do that. You're not a very good family man. You're not a dedicated father. You're not a very good father or grandfather, or maybe you're teaching your son how to be a decent dad now as well. I don't think it has to be spun as you're a bad person, a bad father, a bad family man, if you have other priorities that picket your time and your days, especially if it's in support of what the family needs. I just see society crawling away from that. And that means, you have to be at every soccer practice. You have to be at every soccer game. You have to, every hour you're not at work, you're spending with the family. I think we're getting misshapen beliefs, and I would like to push back on that a little bit and say it's okay in the pursuit of another goal of life, building a company, building revenue, building wealth. And now I'm not saying you should do that instead of being a family man, right? That's the other whiplash everybody wants to go to. Oh, you're a money grubber and money's more important than family to you. No, not at all. But there are building years and earning years, and and there are life cycles to it. There are life cycles to life, and I'm now in the life cycle of life that allows me to do whatever my kids need me to do whatever my wife needs me to do. But that I wasn't there. I mean, this started about 5-6 years ago. And for the 20 before that, I was busy fixing a county and building a company and building a revenue stream and eventually building wealth. And some of that came at expense. I mean, I probably was too far on the side I'm arguing for, but I don't think I should have killed all those goals, objectives, and dreams so that I could have been home by 5 o'clock every day, and home every day, and home every week. I think it's okay for Anne-Marie to have covered parent-teachers conferences. I've got a good story about the one I went to, by the way. I'll write that down. That'll be a story I tell. Guys, I think it's okay to be dedicated to other goals than just your family. That doesn't mean neglect. That doesn't mean they take the minority position every day and every week of your life. But there are times, there are years in your life when family is number one, but that means providing for the family as much as being around the family. I don't know if I'm just going to get tomahawked with this or not, but you know me, I'm always pushing the envelope. I'm always pushing the other side. I'm always changing the rules, stretching the conversation. That's what I'm doing with this. I'm just trying to have a better, deeper conversation than, family first, and I just think there's different ways to interpret that don't ruin the family and actually help them and help their future. So I know for me personally, it turned into, both my kids are going to graduate from college debt free. You know, Sean's already out. Sean's been out a year, but he graduated with a 4-year degree from RPI with no debt. You know, and Lauren's going to graduate next May of 26, from the most prestigious computer animation program in the United States, one of the most esteemed School of the Arts in the United States, and do so debt-free. You know, and so, yeah, I wasn't there for a lot of stuff when they were younger, but it translates to, one, we have a great relationship now, and two, I think it's a real benefit to them that they can go to these kinds of institutions and get those degrees and not carry $200,000 or $250,000 debts into them. So anyway, I just wanted to throw out the conversation. I just want to throw out the other side, because, you know, mass media and today's culture is all about, you know, men are idiots, men are pigs if they don't make family the first priority every day, all day, for 20 years. I think there's other ways to support the family. Sometimes for me, I believe it was more important. So, you know, I also think it's okay to say I did the best I could with what I had, with where I was at, and maybe not be penalized today for decisions we had to make 10 years ago. So anyway, I just want to throw it out there, put a different light on the conversation than I think we're hearing out in the cultural world today. That's it. That's the whole point of that one. So preachy session over.